Let's talk about how we're able to charge $1,000 or more for our interior detail services. I'll break down the different types of interior details that we do, the kind of the evolution or the progression of offering new services, how each service has a very specific objective, and then a key factor into how you're able to position each service as a premium or specific service, and how you're able to charge more for that level of service. And then just, I'll talk about a bunch of other stuff in between all those points. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. So to start off the video, we have this Mini Cooper in. We've removed all the interior. The new carpeting just arrived. And I believe for the interior alone, it is $1,500. And then the customer, after we investigated what was going on and what they needed, the customer opted into replacing the material. So we just ordered some used carpeting from eBay. We're gonna clean them, just to clean them, and then reinstall those. So that was an additional $200 that the customer spent. We don't upcharge or anything like that, so they just pay for at cost. But so that's $1,700, and then they also included a wash and wax in the service. So in total, what the customer paid for on this is around $1,900. And then for this one, this is going to be a little different, to where they had roaches in the interior. Like they said, yeah, we killed like 6 of them 2 days ago, and like we see little eggs here and there. So like we want to, I don't want to drive it like that. So with this one, we ripped everything out to inspect underneath and see what was going on. We actually found water in the interior, so that's something we address with the customer and see what they want to do. But the goal here is rip everything out, make sure there's no eggs, no dead anything underneath, see why or where or how they're in there. Give it a thorough cleaning, make sure it's all good. See what's up with this water and see if they want to replace the carpeting or like just kind of see what they want to do. But this one here for the interior is, I think, $1,000 or $1,100. But again, what we do here at our shop, we do detailing and film. So with this car here, we also upsold window tint. So this was a fishbowl before when it got here. And the first thing we did was install the window tint. So this, let's just call it $1,000. With the window tint, I think it was like $450, I think, or $500. So now it was $1,000. It went up to, let's say, $1,500. And that is the beauty of being able to offer services like this. Like, these are very like niche services that like most detailers or detail shops can't offer or won't offer, because like you can't really do this mobile, because like look at this. This is a lot of you ripped everything out. So it's almost impossible to do this mobile. And just I haven't seen many other detail shops offer this level of interior detail or interior service. So so that's why it's a specific service that we do. But then on top of that, looking for other opportunities, we're also able to upsell tint. Or like on this one, we're also to include a wash and wax, even with what they got going on in the interior. And another big part to this is, like, for instance, we have this interior with a wash and wax, we have this interior with a full window tint, we have this correction and coating behind us, we have an Escalade back there for tint, correction, and coating, we have a window tint going on. If you were Superman and you had x-ray vision, there's a full window tint going on right there. We have another window tint on a Porsche right there. There's a lot of cars going on. So another way we're able to organize all of our jobs and stay efficient and make sure we're hitting our targets with our deadlines, we're communicating with customers, we're keeping track, because each car here pays a deposit, so we know who's paid the deposit, how much of a deposit they paid, what's the remaining balance on each car. We have all these things well organized inside of our CRM called Jobber. That's a CRM I've been using now for the last 5 years, and it helps us stay organized and efficient in our business, because each person that works on each car clocks in not just for the day, but on each car. We're able to see if we need it, like per the notes that we spoke with the customer. We can keep track of what specifically they mentioned. We can even communicate with the customers directly through our Jobber CRM with our client communication. And just, we do so much with Jobber that like it's cool to be fully booked out and to have all these cars in here, but at the same time, you need to have a way to proficiently organize and streamline everything, because there's so much going on. So if you want to get a free 14-day trial plus a special discounts, click the link in the description box or in the pinned comment and give Jobber a try. And here's something that is super important to understand, and I see this happen 9 out of 10 times with other detailers, is that so many times a big part of how you're able to charge premium rates is by how you position those services. So one case in point is the one I see most often is odor removal. So a lot of times, especially with the clients that I work with, that I'm able to, like, I'm looking at their services and they're breaking it down how they do it, is that they say, oh yeah, we do odor treatment. So, you know, it's the full interior cleaning that we offer for, let's say $250, I'm making up numbers, and then it's $70 for ozone treatment, right? And that in itself is how you kind of devalue your service, because you're not positioning it as a specialty service. You're like, oh, it's just like an add-on to this service. Whereas you can convert that service, because it is a different service, to a specialty service. So instead of saying, oh, hey, it's our interior cleaning with an ozone treatment, that's an additional $70. So again, whatever you're charging, you know, let's say it's $310 for everything, right? Now, if you position that service in a different manner to say, oh, if you have an odor problem, we do have a specialty interior service for odor removal specifically, and that's going to start off, you know, whatever at $500, or that'll be $500. And the reason why you want to do that is because, like, to you it might seem like, oh yeah, I'm just running an ozone treatment, but like, for one, a lot of detailers don't actually have the proper setup, like the proper ozone treatment or the proper odor removal treatment for odor removal cars, right? And not only that, like, it is a specialty service, because I mean, if you go to most car washes, most like detail shops, they don't really do odor removal, which is why for the water damage and for the mold remediation and our restorative interior cleaning, like, we position those as specialty services, because like, we know what we're doing and not many other shops offer those services. So one thing you want to do, and you know, we're obviously talking about interior cleaning, but this is going to be applicable to any service, where the way you position the service itself will help you charge more. If you just say, oh yeah, like, it's just, if you want to remove that odor, we'll just throw in an ozone treatment for $50. It's like, well, yeah, like, you're just devaluing it. You're making it seem like, oh yeah, just something real quick. But if you talk about, oh no, we have a specific process, here's how it differs from here, you know, our main goal for this is to do this, and whatever, you know, whatever service, whatever you want to break down. Well, now you say, these people are professional. Like, yeah, this other detailer said, like, they do the interior cleaning and then they do the ozone treatment. But this detailer over here specifically said, like, hey, they have a specific odor removal process, and depending on the type of odor, they'll do this specific manner, and they're gonna run the ozone treatment for this long and do this, and then they follow up this, and they change the cabin air filter. The way you package it makes a big difference in how you're able to sell it. So let me give you a brief timeline in how we've progressed our interior services. So like most detailers, we're gonna start off with two services: the interior deep cleaning, which is, you know, thoroughly clean the plastics, the leathers, the fabric, you know, wipe down the door jams, clean the glass. And then the maintenance style detail, interior cleaning, right, which is like a thorough vacuuming, wiping down the dust, cleaning the glass, and that's it. And over the years, you know, like the first specialty interior detail service that we offered was smoke odor removal. And we specifically offered that because we would get people coming to us specifically asking for not just odor removal, but smoke odor removal. So after a while, you know, we would turn those customers away because we're like, yeah, we can do it, but, you know, we don't have the right this and right that. Like, just you know, send them somewhere else. And then we kept on turning those away, and they're like, yeah, we're turning away quite a bit of work. Let's actually go and get trained and certified on this smoke odor removal process, and let's offer that service. And it was fantastic. I mean, we charge between, you know, $400 to $500 to $1,400 for that treatment, depending on the severity and all that. And the common theme you'll see with everything is that we offer these services based on the demand of what we get from the customers. So another specialty service that we have is what we call a restorative interior cleaning. And again, how you package and position these services is what helps you sell it at a higher premium rate. So for us, a restorative interior cleaning is our standard interior cleaning, except like on steroids. So these are going to be reserved for vehicles that are in terrible condition, like It's not average. It's not like, oh, it's like, this is dirty. Like, we have to take out the seats. Like, we have to extract the seat 3 times. Like, we have to use every single steamer and brush and things that we have. Like, that is what we consider a restorative interior cleaning. So when we're talking to our customer, we say, oh yeah, typically, you know, an interior can range between 280 to 360, but in this specific condition, we consider this a restorative interior detail because we'll need to do 2 to 3 passes on all the surfaces to even get them halfway decent, which is why the price is so much more expensive, is because the level of time and effort we need to put into it to get it back to somewhat of a desirable outcome. So we have our restorative interior detail. It's still just an interior cleaning. It's gonna take us twice as long or 3 times as long. So for those services, we can charge $800, $1,200, $1,400 because of the level of the condition of the interior. So fast forward, and then, you know, here in Houston, we get a lot of rain, crazy rain at that. Not only that, but we get a lot of flooding because we are a super flat city. I think we are the flattest city in America, where if you drop a cup of water, it might flash flood on the street. So we get a lot of flooded vehicles. Not as I'm saying, as a city, we get a lot of flooded vehicles. So in the last, 2 years ago during the storm, like, we had a lot of inquiries about that. We weren't set up at the time to take them on. We were busier with other things, so we couldn't take on like water damage vehicles. But back then we said, okay, well, if we took on a water damage car, like the interior is flooded, which we took a few of them on, and we understood the process. But if a car gets flooded with water, whether they leave a window down and the rain gets in, or maybe flood water gets into the vehicle, you have to remove the seats, remove the carpeting, wipe underneath, dry everything you can. If you can dry the carpeting, if they want to be on a budget, that'll work, but it's probably best to just replace it, especially if it's flood water, because like that's sewage water. And then, you know, clean all that up. So it, like for the, and what you'll notice is each interior service that we offer has a specific objective. So like the water damage restoration, it doesn't, like, the main goal of the water damage restoration is not to clean the interior back to a like new condition. If you have water inside of your, underneath your carpeting, and it just happened 1, 2, 3 days ago, and you want to stop mold from happening or damaging more electricals or causing more issues, you bring it to us, we rip the carpeting, we rip the seats, or we remove them, we inspect underneath, we see what it is, we evaluate what you need to do. If you want us to clean it and dry it, we'll do that. If you want us to replace it, we'll order a new material, install it for you. We'll make sure it's clean and dry, reinstall everything, and put it back together. So with the water damage restoration, the goal isn't like, oh, and we're also gonna clean your entire interior, because that's not the objective of that. It's to make sure that you don't have mold coming through, or you don't cause any other issues with just keeping the water down there. Now a lot of times we still do the interior cleaning process, but that's the point. Like, that's why there's like each service has a different objective. So for instance, then we move over to the mold remediation, and on that one, again, if we're gonna clean the interior, because that's gonna be a part of the process, but a lot of times with a lot of the customers, like, hey, like my interior got checked out for mold, I want to remove the mold. And you can have a dirty interior technically without having mold present in the interior, and those are two different things. Now each one, yes, to some degree, whether it's all the way or a kind of way, we're gonna clean the interior, but each one has a specific objective. So water damage restoration is remove the water underneath your carpeting. Smoke odor removal is to remove the smoke odor. Mold remediation is to remove the mold, or to mitigate the mold. The restorative interior cleaning is, we're gonna clean your interior, but it's so bad that we have to charge this amount. So each one has a different objective. You don't just clump all the interior detailing services together, because they're not the same. Like if someone comes to us with a restorative interior detail, and then we use our water damage restoration service to do it, like those would yield different results, because they're two different interiors that we're working on in terms of like the process we're gonna do. So there's a lot of caveats to like how you actually do it, but it's not to say like, oh, well, if it's a water damage, like we also have to include a super deep interior cleaning, and we had like, that's not the goal of that, right? Like, yes, we do clean it, but like that's not the main objective of the water damage restoration. So how we charge $1,000 plus is not necessarily saying, oh, well, it has to be this and you have to remove everything out of the way. Because on some smoke odors where we charge $1,000 plus, we didn't remove anything from the interior. Or maybe on a restorative interior detail where maybe we do pull the seats because like the carpeting is just so bad and like you have to get between the center console and the seat. We at least pull the seats, but even then it's like, yeah, like we're not ripping everything apart. So it's not to say like, oh, if I want to charge $1,000, like I have to do water damage and remove the carpeting and the seats and this and this and this. Like you really don't have to do that. But again, going back to everything I said about the positioning, about how you package things up, about like creating a specific process for it and each one having an objective towards that service, like that's really what's gonna like help sell it to the customer of like, oh, like this is a specialized service, because that's how you want to picture it as like this is a specialty service that this person offers. Because I like, there's not many, this isn't a popular service in terms of like, you know, getting your car washed or getting paint correction. Like it's not a quote unquote mainstream service. So when a customer finds you and like, oh man, like you're the only shop that I saw that offers this service, like man, like I was searching everywhere, but like you're the only one that comes up to offer this service, like it puts you in such a premium position of like, oh yeah, there, you know, there's a reason why we're the only ones that offer this, because like it, you know, and you go down to your whole process of what you do and how you track it. Because another thing that we do with these style of services is we tell them we use a software called Company Cam, where hey, we're gonna take photos and videos of the process as we're working on it. That way you can look at that link and we're gonna show you exactly what we see in terms of how much water there is, how soaked it is, or if we run into any issues, or we're gonna show you all the roaches that we find and like the condition that it's in. And when we give you a call and we're gonna you know, break down the process of hey, like here's what we found, we're gonna tell you, hey, go look at that Company Cam link so you can see exactly what we're seeing, because we're documenting the process for you. And again, that adds to that level of like premium of this is a specialty service, this is a premium brand, and yes, I'm paying like a top dollar for this, but because everything that, you know, that I just said, that's why they're charging what they charge, and that's why I'm gonna end up paying, because like no one else came anywhere close to this level of service compared to the, you know, 2 or 3 other detailers that I spoke to. Because, you know, the other detailers said that they can do it, but they said they'd be mobile, it says it's gonna take half a day, and that just didn't seem anywhere as comprehensive as what this brand is telling me they can do. But that's gonna end the video right there. Hopefully you learned something, hopefully you can take something away and apply it to your business. If you want to give Jobber a try, you can click the link down below. Again, we use it literally every hour in our business, to be honest. It's not the only software that we use, but everything that we do runs through Jobber. Whether we're using Company Cam or Pipedrive or anything else, Jobber is at the core of what we do. So give it a try down below, and I'll see you on the next one. And I am keeping to my word so far. We have been consistent with the videos, so we're gonna keep it going and upload more and more videos for you guys.